Let me guess, you only find 30 to maximum 60% of emails for your lead list. In this video, I will show you how to find 80% or more without paying more. You probably use one of these providers: ZoomInfo, DropContact, Apollo, Hunter, or one of these. Hi, my name is Roman, growth co-founder at BetterContact, and in this video I will show you why using only one data source when finding emails is bad for your business and why you're missing out on several opportunities. And then I will show you a solution how to combine multiple providers and not only to find more emails, but also to save time and also save money in the end. So here are 3 reasons why only using one data source to find emails is a major problem. Number one, even in a good scenario, you miss out on at least 40% of high quality opportunities, which means less potential revenue. Number two, you miss out on a lot of time building lists of prospects which you can't reach out to anyways, right? Because you don't have the contact data. And number three, at some point, you just don't have enough leads anymore because you always have to look for twice as many that you want to reach out to. So you need to broaden your target criteria and move away from your initial ideal customer profile. It will not only lead to a trashy pipeline, but even if you sign new customers, they will have a low lifetime value and they will churn pretty quickly. And let's face it, it's already hard enough to find prospects that really match your criteria. So what's the solution? Is there any email finder that finds 100% of the emails? And the answer is no. There are emails that just can't be found, that are just not on the internet, which are so well hidden or that just don't exist. But there is a method which combines several providers into one, which is called Waterfall enrichment, which does not only use Apollo, but it uses ZoomInfo, DropContact, Hunter, up to 20 data sources in one. And this method is extremely powerful because each of the data providers has a different strength. So Apollo finds more emails in the US or Hunter finds more emails in France. So especially if you target more than one industry or more than one country, it doesn't really make sense to only use one data source. So the only logical approach is to combine all of them. So how does waterfall enrichment work? Do you now have to buy a subscription to all of these providers and combine them in a technical way? Nowadays you don't have to, but at least a few years ago, that's exactly how I did it. I bought subscription to a lot of different providers and also combined them in a low-code automation tool. But the problem with building it myself was first that it became very expensive. The more providers I added, the more subscriptions I had to buy, and sometimes I had to buy an enterprise plan, right? Because the cost per credit skyrocketed and also I didn't get an API key without. And secondly, it became very complex to maintain the workflow. It often broke down and I often needed hours to fix it. So as you can see, it doesn't really make sense to build a waterfall enrichment yourself because it becomes very expensive, and secondly, it becomes very technical. So you really need to spend hours of fixing the workflow because it breaks down very often. So that's why we created BetterContact. So over 1.5 years ago, we created the first software where we can use waterfall enrichment without needing to pay for subscriptions to other providers, just paying a fraction of the price and having access to over 15 premium vendors. So how does it work? Just head over to bettercontact.rocks and click on. After that, it's pretty simple. After I'm verified to email, just upload your file here. And then after having done that, match your columns, right? So first name, last name, company name, and what we always recommend is also adding the company domain and if you have the LinkedIn URL, right? And after having done so, just click on Start Enrichment Now. So we asked one of our users, Alex, if we can show you his file that he enriched with BetterContact. And as you can see, he was looking for over 3,000 emails and found over 80. So as you can see down here, there have been used around 8 data sources, and in BetterContact, this can go up to 15. And just imagine you would have used only an email finder, which is an amazing email finder, but you would have missed out on around 1,800 opportunities, right? And this means not only 1,800 opportunities, but also 1,800 potential clients. So now you might ask yourself, how did this work, right? So let's just take Alex's file as an example and explain you how waterfall enrichment works. So the first step is, after you've uploaded your file, is that BetterContact looks at your file, looks at your data, and if there is any information missing. As a second step, BetterEye, which is our in-house developed machine learning algorithm, looks at your lead list. It analyzes the industry, the geography, and the type of company. What it does then, after having analyzed each of the providers that are implemented in BetterContact over several months, it tailors the perfect waterfall sequence. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have a list of 1,000 leads and you want to find the emails for them. And they're mostly working in the US and they mostly work in tech. So based on our Better Eye recommendation, we would then request Apollo first and push the data to Apollo. And let's say they find around 500 emails of these 1,000. So we will request them back and check them via Bouncer to see if they would really land in the inbox. So there are still 600 leads where no email has been found, right? Or rather, where no valid email has been found. And these 600 leads will be pushed to the next provider. Let's say Contact Out. And the same process repeats. So Contact Out tries to find an email for these 600. And all of the emails that have been found will again be verified by a bouncer. And this process basically continues after all of the email have been found or all the providers have been requested. Why should you use Waterfall enrichment in BetterContact right now? First of all, you find way more emails, which means more opportunities and more potential clients and revenue. Secondly, you save a lot of money because you don't have to subscribe to a lot of providers. You just need one subscription. And thirdly, you save a lot of time because combining all of them is very technical and also breaks down a lot of times. The biggest opportunity I'm seeing currently in waterfall enrichment is that 99% of your competitors just use one data source, which means they have just a limited access to a certain amount of leads, so a certain amount of opportunities. And by using waterfall enrichment, you can reach out to people that 99% of these businesses can't because they just don't find the contact data and the emails for. That's why I want you to try it out right now, of course, completely for free. We put a link in the description so you can find 50 emails in BetterContact for free. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in BetterContact.